In the last video, we saw Kang Hyun testing his 3 Beast Folk students on their cooking abilities. While 2 of them failed miserably, the girl named Hammond passed the test, impressing Kang Hyun, White Rice, and Noah with her cooking. The Beast Folk village chief Cassandra also dropped by just then to taste the food and to thank Kang Hyun for making such efforts for their sake. To thank him, she gifted him something special and valuable, but it turned out to be a fruit that had the smell of socks that had not been washed for a month. Later, Kang Hyun gets some customers in the form of the painter Jahoon, who has brought a friend along today. The macho biker is too extroverted and has no respect for other people's private space. Kang Hyun is taken aback by him, but after he serves some spicy pasta, the biker Youngwon asks him to choose a weekend next month. Kang Hyun chooses one randomly, and Youngwon decides to retire on that day. Kang Hyun freaks out because it is a big decision to be made like that. But the bigger shock comes when he learns that Youngwon is a renowned pianist. As he asks about his final performance, Youngwon reveals that he will not be having one because his hand is no longer in proper shape because of an accident. That is why he wants to end his career quietly. Kang Hyun can relate to his struggles, and he wonders how he can help him out. The way to help him comes through White Rice, who had buried the smelly fruits in the forest. But on hearing Kang Hyun's dilemma, he leads him to the fruits and hints that they have some special property. Kang Hyun is curious now, and as he takes a bite, he feels his body has become much lighter and healthier. He realizes that this is something that can help Youngwon, but to make this smelly fruit palatable, he needs to use it as a stuffing for something else. Just one day later, as Youngwon is relaxing outside his house, his hand starts trembling like an old Nokia again. He clenches his fist to subdue it, and just then, Kang Hyun arrives there. Youngwon is surprised to see him and asks how he even found him here. It is not because of White Rice's sharp nose, but because Kang Hyun had already heard that Youngwon was staying at one of Jahoon's houses. Youngwon asks him if he is here to find him for some special reason, and Kang Hyun suddenly pulls out a lunchbox from his bag. Youngwon is taken aback by this, but Kang Hyun asks him if he is hungry. He opens the lunchbox to reveal ravioli dipped in spicy sauce, and Youngwon thinks that he might actually be a little hungry for it. He sits down to eat, and Kang Hyun tells him that he wanted him to taste his new menu. Youngwon says that Jahoon would be better for this, and the guilty Kang Hyun says he will reach out to him later. Youngwon notices him looking nervous, so he asks if he is here because of the things he said yesterday. Kang Hyun freaks out as he tries to feign ignorance, but then Youngwon apologizes for making him worry yesterday. He thanks Kang Hyun for being considerate, but tells him that he has already given up on his last recital. Youngwon asks him not to worry about it, but Kang Hyun says that he must still like playing the piano. The old man replies that it was the thing he loved the most, and somewhere deep inside his heart, he has not given up yet. He had hoped to get a nice farewell, but he can't do that now because of his hand. He says that if he tries to have one last recital like this, he will be retiring like a clown, so it is better for him to end things quietly. After a long moment of heartfelt silence, Kang Hyun says that he can't understand what Youngwon is going through, but he wants him to have his final recital. Youngwon stares at him and then suddenly bursts out laughing, saying that he can feel his youth from his words. He says that what he just said is something too much for an old man like him to imagine. Kang Hyun is embarrassed and apologizes if he crossed the line, but Youngwon tells him that it was perfectly fine. He says that maybe his words were what he wanted to hear the most. He tells Kang Hyun that he is the only one who has told him that he should give a last performance despite everything, and for that, the pianist thanks him. Just then, White Rice comes to Kang Hyun, looking like he has not been fed for days. Kang Hyun immediately realizes that he forgot to feed him and gives him a lunchbox. Youngwon also decides to take a bite, and he is impressed by the taste already. Kang Hyun made the ravioli spicier than usual because he knew that Youngwon liked spicy things. Youngwon says that he doesn't eat ravioli much because it is quite greasy, but this one is different, and the spicy sauce balances the greasiness out perfectly. He says that it is a wonderful dish, and then suddenly, he begins feeling its positive effects on his body. He says he feels healthier, and Kang Hyun tries to cover it by saying that it must be because he is feeling better emotionally. Suddenly, Youngwon notices that his hand has stopped trembling, and then Kang Hyun pulls out a stack of lunch boxes packed with the same ravioli. He eagerly tells Youngwon that he made too much of it, so he can take them and keep them in the fridge. He insists on him eating the ravioli each day, and the old pianist understands what is going on. He gladly accepts the lunch boxes and thanks Kang Hyun for that. After a few days, as Kang Hyun is in his restaurant, a postman comes there with his mail. Kang Hyun opens the letter that is from Youngwon and finds that it has 2 tickets for his final recital. There is also a letter along with it, in which Youngwon shares some good news with him. He writes that his hand has recovered fully, and he has moved to Seoul for further rehab. He tells him that he is going to have his final recital this Saturday, and he really wants Kang Hyun to come. Kang Hyun is glad to read that, but then he finds another message on the back of the letter. Younghwan writes some musical terms about going back to the beginning of a piece right before the ending, and his story seems just like that. He thanks Kang Hyun for giving him the chance to have his final recital that he wanted the most. Well, Kang Hyun realizes that Younghwan figured out what he did, but that does not matter. He texts his friend Jim, asking him if he wants to go to Younghwan's concert this Saturday. Jim thinks that Kang Hyun can only reach out to him because he doesn't have any friends, but he is not free on the day. He wonders how Kang Hyun even got the tickets for Younghwan's retirement recital, but then suddenly gets the perfect solution. He remembers a close associate who is a huge fan of Younghwan and immediately dials her number. He asks her if she is filming right now, but the girl, who is actually the celebrity Sina who hosted the TV show earlier, tells him that she is just chilling at a cafe. She asks Jim why he called her, because ever since his assigned celebrity changed, he never bothered to contact her. Well, the day of the final recital comes, and Kang Hyun is in the audience, visibly nervous because something unexpected happened. He is sure that he texted Jim to come to the recital with him and not Sina, who is sitting right next to him. She says that she was really sad when she couldn't get a ticket to this show, and it was the luckiest thing that Kang Hyun had an extra. It turns out that Jim sent Sina in his place to Kang Hyun and forgot to give him a heads up. Sina says that she never knew Kang Hyun was a fan of pianist Younghwan, and he nervously replies that he recently found out about him. He asks Sina how long she has been Younghwan's fan, and she says that she has been listening to him ever since her debut. She acts bashful as she remembers how she used to play the song in her car all the time, and one day Younghwan told her to stop playing the same piano songs or he would fall asleep at the wheel. Kang Hyun laughs at this and thinks that meeting Sina right now feels like meeting an old friend. He thinks that is what they are, because when Jim was Sina's manager, they were quite close. He remembers an incident when Jim barged into his room after somehow hacking the passcode and demanded food. Kang Hyun freaked out at this and asked how he even got in. Sina was right behind him and asked for a plate too, but Kang Hyun yelled at them to get out. Now that he thinks about it, they were not so close, but anyway, Sina snaps him out of his thought train and asks why he is so stunned. She teases him, asking if it is because she is looking too stunning today, and Kang Hyun thinks that she is still as shameless as ever. Just then, a fan comes there and tells Sina that she really liked her recent drama. She wants an autograph, and Sina gladly obliges. Kang Hyun is surprised to hear that she is acting too now, and she gives him a smug look as she asks if he thinks that she is still just a singer. Well, that is news for Kang Hyun, and Sina asks him if he really doesn't know what is going on in the world. She says that it has been a while since she started acting, and he would have known it if he watched TV. Kang Hyun feels like an ignorant bum now, and he thinks that he should start watching TV for at least 1 hour per day. Sina takes her sweet time teasing him about it, saying that it has been some time since someone called her a singer. She tells Kang Hyun that it is one of his charms that he is not concerned about anything around him, and that feels like a blow to his head. Just then, Younghwan walks on the stage, and everyone's attention goes to him. He doesn't look like his usual biker self as he greets the audience, and Sina says that she is excited and worried. Kang Hyun asks why that is, and she says that everyone knows about Younghwan's wrist injury. She is worried that he is pushing himself too hard for this recital, and Kang Hyun decides to take this chance to show off in front of her. He says that, surprisingly, he knows something that she doesn't. Sina asks him what it is, and he tells her that he heard that Younghwan's wrist has been completely healed. Just then, Younghwan starts playing the piano, and everyone is mesmerized by him. Later, Kang Hyun goes to meet Younghwan, who eagerly welcomes him. He asks him if he brought along his girlfriend with the ticket that he gave him, and Kang Hyun clarifies that Sina is just a friend. Sina is hiding behind him and punching him as she asks why he did not tell her that he personally knew Younghwan because she would have brought some albums to get them autographed. Kang Hyun doesn't pay her any attention, and then Younghwan asks him to give his honest opinion about today's performance. Kang Hyun says that it was amazing, but another critic says that it was not bad. It is Jaehoon who says that the performance was good at the beginning, but Younghwan got too excited towards the end. He says that Younghwan loses control every time he plays the piano and gets a bow tie slammed on his face. Younghwan is furious at Jaehoon and tells him that he didn't ask for his opinion, and he replies that he should know how to take constructive criticism. While they are quarreling as always, Jihoon turns to Kang Hyun and asks if he doesn't agree with him too. Kang Hyun replies that he liked the performance quite a lot. Sina is surprised to see Jihoon and asks Kang Hyun if he knows him too. Kang Hyun replies that both these famous men are regulars at his restaurant, and Sina gives him a terrifying look as she asks him to give her the restaurant address because she wants to become a regular too. Anyway, she gets an autograph from Youngwon and tells him that today's performance was really amazing. She says that it was one of his best performances, and Youngwon says that he put his all into it. He says that it was possible thanks to a certain fortunate incident, and turns to Kang Hyun, who acts nervous as he tries to hide it. Youngwon thanks him for the ravioli lunch boxes and says that he enjoyed every single one of them. A few days later, Kang Hyun is in the fantasy world, fishing alongside Randolph. He feels really nice and relaxed here, and his body feels drowsy too. He wonders if it is because this is his first time fishing, but Randolph says it is because he just finished a training session. On that note, Kang Hyun asks Randolph why he can't use the fishing rods he brought with him. Randolph tells him that fishing is war, and just then, something starts tugging on his makeshift wooden fishing rod with a rope tied to it. Randolph pulls the fishing rod and pulls a huge monster of a fish out of the river. He tells Kang Hyun that his puny little fishing rods couldn't handle this beast, so they had to go with something tried and tested. Kang Hyun can't even react to the fish falling right at him because he is so drowsy, but luckily for him, Randolph saves him from getting crushed under it. Randolph says that they caught a nice-sized fish that has a less fishy smell. Hearing this suddenly wakes Kang Hyun up from his drowsiness. Even though the fish is still struggling, he thinks that it would be the perfect ingredient to make some spicy fish stew. This is where the video ends. Kang Hyun was able to help out the pianist with his special dish and even got to see his final performance. While the author seems to be pushing Sina towards him, I still ship the elf mommy with him. Anyway, let us see what he does with the giant fish in the next video. So leave a like and comment if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.